All right, guys, let's do this thing. This is Emmett, the Alpha Builder. Guys, this is not Facebook. The reason I say that, guys, if you look at Facebook, you always see the good stories. You see people's lives, and they always show you the good stories and the things that they want you to see. They're going on vacation, and everything is just great. They never show you the horror stories that you have, which makes things realistic. And if you look at that stuff too long, man, you start thinking that you're inadequate if you have bad luck. But guys, once again, this is not Facebook. This is reality. You guys are fixing to see some battle scars of one of the most challenging concrete pours that I've ever had. Guys, I realize in today's time, common sense is just not common anymore. And I'm not here to just go in on the concrete company that did this right here. But I had to make it work. Any kind of problems, we had to back charge these guys. But guys, I want you guys, we had these concrete trucks. This is the road we on right here, guys. And here's one thing. We already had one pour. This particular pour was the walls. We were doing the walls pour. We had the pump truck. But we already had one pour, footings, had no problem. Footing guys, the trucks pulled in, they back, they did everything, no problem. Same scenario, which says that it can be done. But somehow when we get here, it just got crazy. We had one truck to get stuck right here. Got stuck. I mean, you got this road right here behind me, guys. It's 13 feet wide. Truck is probably maybe 8-9 feet wide, give or take. And this is where you at, guys. You veering off the road. You see hidden trees, and I almost took his, wait, look at there. Look at that right there. These guys, look at where he went all the way here, guys. And so that was one truck. Guys, I think I got about 8 trucks I called in. And you can kind of see the road we got here. They had the back end. I had to give them that. They had the back end. But the first truck, guys, I came here early in the morning. And once again, guys, when I say this, I mean this. When you're doing a concrete pour, just go ahead and plan on being there the whole day. Just be there the whole day. Because when it comes down, if there's any kind of thinking that has to happen, you better be there to troubleshoot and help them troubleshoot to figure this out, man, because they're not going to do it. If they can walk away from that site and mess that house up, those guys would do it. So we had a truck, man. This guy came in right here. I don't know how he did it, man. He veered off and got his truck stuck right here. He almost flipped the truck down the hill. And you guys see right behind me, you see a lot of concrete here too. So what happened? We got a wrecker. Once again, the wrecker takes 2 hours to come in. It takes them 2 hours. Concrete don't need to sit on that truck. We had to send another truck back because it was on the truck 2 hours. Because it took them 2 hours to get this up. I sent the truck back. Said, we don't need that concrete. It's not good concrete, so send it back. Get us another fresh mix. And then, so these guys, it was just, so they were sitting here waiting. The wrecker was right here. They couldn't, and the truck had concrete on it. So they couldn't lift it. All right, so I don't know where I was in the middle of this conversation, guys, but this guy veered off the road, guys. So I'm just realizing, guys, that he veered off. He got his truck over here. He had 9 feet left over here. I just think he just got mixed up with where he was going. Or he could have been doing one of them vape pens. He might have been smoking around. I don't know, man. I don't know what's going on with these guys, man. I mean, we're dealing with some different mindsets now. So that happened, guys. And guys, so we get the doggone truck here. Get the truck sitting here, man. We couldn't pull it out. We had to get a wrecker, and the wrecker tried to pick it up. But if you pick it up, he had so much weight on the back, so much concrete on the back of that truck. It was too heavy that the truck would have swiveled down the hill. So we made a suggestion. Hey, look here, man. I made an executive decision because what's more important is the house. We can't let that concrete sit long because you get a cold joint. So I couldn't do that, man. So we had to get this guy on out of here. So I said, hey, look, take that concrete because we can get rid of this. And on their dime. But we poured that concrete. I said, get that concrete off the truck. And we get it off the truck, and then, I said, pour it right there. And I said, what we could do is now you can lift it up. Then they lift it up. They can lift the truck up, and they got it out, got the truck going. We thought everything was good, guys. Then that other truck had got stuck down there. Then I don't know what they thought about. I ordered 72 yards of concrete, guys. I calculate this stuff down to the dime. I don't know what happened at the dispatch. For some reason, they figured it was going to be 54 yards. And I don't. So now I'm sitting here waiting. Where's this other truck at? So I called my sales guy. He said, well, we thought you needed 54 yards, but I ordered 72. So we had to get 2 more trucks in. So the other 2 trucks was taking so long. So the stuff, we can't let the concrete sit too long. So I called the other truck. Come to find out the other truck had spilt some concrete on the doggone road going up the hill. So he had to stop his truck and get out and clean the concrete up. It's just, man, I believe, man, it's just, man, today, man, just incompetence. Guys, I'm getting mad just thinking about it. This is why you got to stay out here, man, because no one cares about your job site. Guys, no one cares about your job site like you. If you're a builder, no one is going to be more concerned. Because see, here's what I'm concerned about. When I'm doing a job, guys, I don't want the homeowner to have to call me every other week. You got a leak over here, this right here. Mind you, I don't want that. So you got to get it right the first time. That's my philosophy. Get it right the first time and do it right the first time. Within everything I know about construction, we need to make sure it's right. These guys, the concrete sales guy, these other guys, they don't care about your job site like you care about it. These guys would have left yesterday without finishing the pour if I wasn't there. They would have got in their trucks and they would have left, and it wouldn't even bother them. They'd have messed up this house. But you got to be there, guys. If you're a builder, you got to be at that job site. Now, here's another thing, guys. Some of the homeowners, they don't see all this stuff. This is what I try to, I'm not shielding it from them now because I'm putting it on YouTube, but guys, on an average house, man, this is what I shield them from. These are the problems that you run into. So I shield them from this stuff right here, man. I make sure that they don't have to deal with the problems. They have to see all this stuff that's going on. That's what we do as builders. And that's what you have to protect your homeowner from. So guys, stay on your job, man. Especially on a concrete pour, things like that. You guys got to, when they pour in that concrete, just go ahead and plan the day and just be there. Because that concrete, those are, if you have a concrete problem, guys, it's very difficult to undo it. Very difficult. Now you got to gouge out concrete. It ain't like framing. You can frame some stuff up, and we can just tear that down and put it back together. Concrete is not like that. You got to get that right. Stay on your job site, guys. And this is the way.